I'll never forget the look on his face when he walked into my office that day. His eyes went wide, his mouth dropped open, and for a second, I thought he might actually faint right there on my carpet. "You," he whispered. "Me," I said, leaning back in my leather chair. The same man who took everything from me 3 years ago was now standing in front of my desk, holding a resume in his shaking hands. He came here looking for a job. He had no idea I owned this place, but I knew exactly who he was, and oh, did I have plans for this moment? Let me take you back to where it all started. 3 years ago, I was a completely different person. Back then, I believed in love. I believed in trust. I believed in the man sitting across from me at our favorite coffee shop, holding my hands and telling me about his big dreams. His name was Marcus Williams. We'd been together for 2 years, and I thought he was the one. "Baby, I've been thinking," he said that day, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "What if we started our own business? You and me. Partners in everything." My heart jumped. "Really? You mean it?" "Of course I mean it." He squeezed my hands tighter. "I've got this amazing idea for a marketing company. But I need someone I can trust. Someone who believes in me." I smiled so big my cheeks hurt. "I believe in you. Then let's do this. Together." That word together, it made everything feel possible. We talked for hours that day. He showed me papers, plans, calculations. It all looked so real, so perfect. "There's just one thing," Marcus said, his voice dropping a little. "We need startup money. About $50,000. My stomach flipped. That's a lot." "I know, baby." "I know." He reached across the table and touched my cheek. "I've got about 25 saved up. If you could match that, we'd have everything we need. $25,000. I didn't have that kind of money just sitting around, but when I looked into his eyes, I saw our future. Our life together. Our success. "Okay," I heard myself say. "I'll figure it out." The smile he gave me that day could have lit up the whole city. I had no idea it would be one of the last real smiles I'd ever see from him. The next 2 weeks were crazy. I sold my car, the one my grandmother left me. That hurt, but I told myself it was for our future. I sold my jewelry, my laptop, even some furniture. I borrowed money from my sister Maddie, promising I'd pay her back soon. She didn't want to give it to me. She said something felt wrong about the whole thing. "Just be careful, Sadie," she warned. "I don't trust him." "You don't even know him," I shot back. "Exactly," she said. "And neither do you, not really." But I didn't listen. Love makes you deaf sometimes. Finally, I had the money. $25,000. Every penny I could scrape together. Marcus and I met at the bank to open our joint business account. The bank lady, Mrs. Chen, asked us questions, made us sign papers. Everything seemed official and real. When we walked out of that bank, Marcus wrapped his arms around me and lifted me off the ground. "This is it, baby. This is our new beginning." I remember that feeling, pure happiness mixed with a little bit of fear. It felt like standing at the edge of a cliff about to jump. I just didn't know how hard the landing would be. The first sign something was wrong came 3 days later. I called Marcus to talk about next steps. He didn't answer. I texted him, nothing. That was weird. Marcus always answered my calls. I waited a few hours and tried again. Still nothing. By that evening, I started to panic. I drove to his apartment. His car wasn't there. I knocked on his door anyway. No answer. I called his phone 15 times that night. Every call went straight to voicemail. "Hey, this is Marcus. Leave a message." Beep. "Marcus, where are you? I'm worried. Call me back." But he never did. The next morning, I went to the bank. My hands were shaking as I asked Mrs. Chen to check our joint account balance. She typed on her computer. Then her face changed. "Ma'am, this account was closed yesterday." The floor seemed to tilt under my feet. "What? That's impossible." "I didn't close it. It shows here that Marcus Williams closed the account and withdrew all funds." All funds. All $50,000. Gone. I actually felt my knees buckle. Mrs. Chen had to help me to a chair. Are you okay, Miss Rhodes? Should I call someone? I couldn't speak. I couldn't breathe. I just sat there, staring at nothing, while my whole world crashed down around me. He took it all. Every single penny. And then he vanished like smoke. I tried everything to find him. I went back to his apartment. The landlord, Mr. Patterson, said Marcus moved out in the middle of the night. Paid cash to break his lease early. Left no forwarding address. I called his phone 100 times. The number was disconnected. I checked his social media. All his accounts were deleted. I even filed a police report. Officer Martinez looked at me with pity in his eyes. Ma'am, because you willingly put money in a joint account, legally he had every right to withdraw it. Unless you can prove fraud, there's not much we can do. But he lied to me. He used me. Officer Martinez sighed. I'm sorry. I really am. But this happens more than you'd think. Try to contact a lawyer. I did contact a lawyer, Miss Anderson. She said the same thing. Without proof of fraud, I had no case. And Marcus had been careful. He'd made sure everything looked legal. The man I loved, the man I trusted with everything, had planned this from the beginning. I was just a mark. A target. A fool. The next few months were the darkest of my life. I had to move out of my apartment because I couldn't afford rent. I moved back in with my mom, Linda, at 28 years old. My sister Maddie wouldn't talk to me because I still owed her $10,000 and had no way to pay her back. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I lost 15 pounds in a month. Every morning, I'd wake up and feel this crushing weight on my chest. Some days, I didn't even want to get out of bed. Mom would knock on my door softly. Sadie, honey, you need to eat something. I'm not hungry, Mom. You need to try. But trying felt impossible. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Marcus's face, that smile, those lies. You're such an idiot, Sadie, I'd tell myself in the mirror. How could you be so stupid? One night, about 2 months after Marcus disappeared, I hit rock bottom. I was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about how my life had become such a mess. I was broke, depressed, alone, 32 with nothing to show for it. I thought about giving up completely. But then something inside me snapped. Not in a bad way. In a wake-up way. I sat up in bed and said out loud, "No, I'm not doing this anymore." Mom heard me through the wall. "You okay in there, sweetheart?" I walked out of my room and found her sitting at the kitchen table with her tea. "Mom, I need to tell you something." She looked at me with worried eyes. "What is it, baby?" "I'm done being a victim. I'm done crying over that man. He took my money, but I'm not going to let him take my life." Mom's eyes filled with tears. She stood up and hugged me tight. "That's my girl," she whispered. "That's my strong Sadie." The very next day, I started rebuilding. I got a job at a local marketing firm, Davidson and Associates. It was just an assistant position, answering phones and making copies, but it was a start. I worked harder than anyone else in that office. I stayed late. I came in early. I learned everything I could. My boss, Jennifer Davidson, noticed. "You're good at this, Sadie," she told me one day. "Really good. Have you ever thought about moving into actual marketing work?" "I don't have experience." "So?" "You're smart. You're hungry. That's better than experience sometimes." She promoted me to junior marketing associate 3 months later. And that's when everything started to change. I discovered something about myself. I was actually talented at this. Marketing made sense to me. Understanding what people wanted, how to reach them, what messages worked. It all clicked. Within a year, I was the top performer at the firm. Within 2 years, I was promoted to senior marketing director. And then 3 months ago, I did something crazy. I quit my job and started my own company. "Are you insane?" Mom asked when I told her. "You have a great job." "Why would you leave?" "Because I'm ready, Mom. I've learned everything I need to know. I have clients who want to work with me. I have enough saved up to make this work." She stared at me for a long moment. Then she smiled. You're really doing this, aren't you? I really am. Then I'm proud of you, Sadie. Starting my own company was terrifying. But I'd already lost everything once. I wasn't afraid anymore. I named my company Phoenix Marketing Solutions because I had risen from the ashes. Within 2 months, I had 15 clients. Within 3 months, I had to hire employees. My first hire was Julie Kim as my assistant. Then came David, Rachel, and Tom for the marketing team. And now, 6 months in, my company was growing faster than I ever dreamed possible. I had turned my pain into power, my loss into success, my betrayal into triumph. And then, on a random Tuesday morning, Marcus walked into my office. I was reviewing applications for a new marketing position when Julie buzzed me. Ms. Rhodes, your 11 o'clock is here. Marcus Williams for the marketing specialist position. Everything stopped. The pen fell from my hand. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Marcus, here in my building. Ms. Rhodes? Should I send him in? I took a deep breath. Then another. Yes, send him in. I turned my chair around to face the window. I needed a second to compose myself. The door opened. Good morning, I heard his voice say. That voice that used to tell me he loved me. That voice that lied so easily. I closed my eyes for just a moment. Then I turned my chair around. Good morning, Mr. Williams. The color drained from his face so fast I thought he might actually collapse. Oh my God, he whispered. Sadie? I didn't smile. I didn't frown. I just looked at him calmly. Please have a seat. He stood frozen in the doorway. I didn't know. The website says Rhodes Solutions. Rhodes is my maiden name. I took it back. Sit down, Marcus. He moved like a robot to the chair across from my desk. His hands were shaking so badly his resume was making a rattling sound. We sat in silence for what felt like forever. Finally, he spoke. Sadie, I can explain. Can you? I cut him off. My voice was ice. Can you explain how you stole $50,000 from me and disappeared without a trace? He opened his mouth. Closed it. Opened it again. I made a terrible mistake. A mistake? I leaned forward. A mistake is forgetting someone's birthday. A mistake is burning dinner. What you did was calculated theft. Tears started rolling down his face. I was desperate. I had gambling debts. People were threatening me. I panicked. So you destroyed me instead? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You have no idea how much I've regretted it. Every single day. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. Oh, you regret it? Well, that makes everything better then, doesn't it? Please, Sadie. I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. But I've been living in hell. I lost everything. My family won't talk to me. I've been homeless, living in my car. I finally got clean, got sober, and I'm trying to rebuild my life. He looked terrible, actually. Thin, worn out. Nothing like the confident man who took my money. That's a very sad story, I said flatly. Why should I care? Because, he wiped his eyes. Because you're a good person. You always were. Better than me. Better than I deserved. You're right. I was too good for you. Too trusting. Too naive. I know. I know that now. I stood up and walked to the window. The city stretched out below us. My city, my success, my life that I built from nothing. Do you know what you did to me, Marcus? I turned to face him. You didn't just take my money. You took my ability to trust. You took my joy. You took months of my life that I spent drowning in depression, wondering what was wrong with me that made me so easy to fool. Sadie, I'm not finished. My voice was steel. I couldn't pay my rent. I had to move back in with my mother. My sister Maddie stopped speaking to me because I borrowed money from her that I couldn't pay back. I literally wanted to stop existing because you made me feel so worthless. He was sobbing now, his head in his hands. I'm sorry, God. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't give me back those months. Sorry doesn't erase the pain. I walked back to my desk and sat down. But you know what? I should thank you. He looked up, confused. What? You broke me so completely that I had to rebuild myself from scratch. And when I did, I built something better, stronger, successful. I picked up his resume and looked at it. Your work history has a lot of gaps. Yes, like I said. I've been struggling. It says here you have experience in marketing. Is that true, or did you lie about that too? He flinched. It's true. I actually did work in marketing before everything. Before you became a con artist, you mean? Yes. I tapped the resume against my desk. This position pays $65,000 a year with benefits. It's a good job, a lot of people want it. Hope flickered in his eyes. I would work so hard, Sadie, I swear to you. I would never. Give me one reason why I should hire you. One reason why I shouldn't call security and have you thrown out of my building. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, You shouldn't hire me. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve your kindness or your mercy. But I'm asking anyway because I have nowhere else to turn. That's not a reason. I know. He looked directly at me. The only reason I can give you is this. I'm not that person anymore. I've spent 3 years living with what I did to you, and it destroyed me. I want to be better. I want to prove that people can change. I stared at him for a long moment. Every part of me wanted to make him suffer. Wanted to reject him. Wanted to get revenge. But then I thought about something Mom told me once. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. I didn't want to drink that poison anymore. Stand up, I said. He stood, looking terrified. You're not getting the marketing specialist position. His shoulders sagged. I understand. But I am going to give you a job. His head snapped up. What? You're going to work in our mailroom. Sorting packages, filing, basic office work. It pays $30,000 a year. Take it or leave it. I'll take it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't thank me yet. Because here are my conditions. I walked around my desk and stood directly in front of him. First condition, you will pay me back every single penny you took from me. $50,000. I'll take a portion from your paycheck every month. It'll take you years. But you will pay it back. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Second condition, you will attend therapy. Weekly, and you'll provide me with proof that you're going. Okay. I can do that. Third condition, you will never, ever speak to me about our past relationship unless I bring it up first. As far as everyone in this office knows, we're strangers. You are my employee. Nothing more. Understood. Fourth condition, you work harder than you've ever worked in your life. You show up early, you stay late, you prove every single day that you deserve to be here. I will. I promise. And final condition, if you ever do anything dishonest, if you steal, if you lie, if you cheat in any way, I will not just fire you. I will make sure you never work in this city again. Do you understand me? He nodded, his eyes red from crying. I understand, thank you, Sadie. You're giving me a chance I don't deserve. You're right. You don't deserve it. I pressed a button on my phone. Julie, can you come in here, please? Julie walked in. Yes, Miss Rhodes? This is Marcus Williams. He's going to be joining our mailroom team. Can you please take him to HR to do his paperwork? Of course, follow me, Mr. Williams. Marcus turned to me one more time. Thank you, really, thank you. I didn't respond. I just watched him leave. When the door closed, I sat back down in my chair and let out a long breath. My hands were shaking, my heart was racing, but I felt good, powerful, in control. I had turned my pain into something positive. I had taken back my power, and in a weird way, giving him that job wasn't about him at all. It was about me proving to myself that I was strong enough to face him without falling apart. Strong enough to make my own choices, strong enough to win. The first few weeks after Marcus started working were strange. I'd see him in the hallways, pushing mail carts or carrying boxes. He always kept his head down, Never tried to talk to me. Never tried to explain himself further. My employees had no idea about our history. To them, he was just the new guy in the mailroom. But I knew, and he knew. And he knew. One day, Julie asked me, "Miss Rhodes, is everything okay with the new mailroom guy? He seems really nervous around you." I looked up from my computer. "What do you mean?" "I don't know, whenever you walk by, he freezes up. Like he's scared or something. Maybe he's just shy." Julie shrugged. "Maybe he works really hard though, always here before everyone else. Always the last to leave." I nodded but didn't say anything. The truth was, I watched him too. Not because I cared about him, but because I needed to make sure he wasn't going to mess up again. I needed to make sure my trust, even the tiny bit I was giving him, wasn't misplaced. Every Friday I'd review the payroll, and every Friday, I'd see the deduction from his check, $200, going straight into an account to pay back what he stole. It would take him almost 5 years to pay it all back at this rate. 5 years of watching him work in my building. 5 years of him knowing exactly what he lost. Sometimes I wondered if I made the right choice, if I should have just sent him away. But then I'd remember that broken version of myself from 3 years ago. The girl who couldn't get out of bed. The girl who thought her life was over. And I'd realized that giving Marcus this job wasn't about him at all. Wasn't about him at all. It was about proving to myself that I wasn't that broken girl anymore. 2 months after Marcus started, something unexpected happened. I was working late on a big presentation. It was almost 9 at night, and I thought everyone had gone home. There was a knock on my door. "Come in," I called out. Not looking up from my laptop, the door opened. "Miss Rhodes?" I looked up. It was Marcus, still in his work uniform. "What are you doing here so late?" I asked. "I was about to ask you the same thing." He held up a stack of packages. "These came in after hours. I was sorting them before I left. I saw your light on." "Okay, you can just leave those with Julie's desk." "Right. Yes." He turned to go, then stopped. "Miss Rhodes, can I say something?" I put my pen down. "What is it?" "I just wanted you to know, I see you working late almost every night. You're here before everyone arrives and after everyone leaves. You built all of this." He gestured around the office, and I wanted to say that I'm sorry I ever made you doubt yourself. Because you're incredible. I didn't know what to say to that. We stood there in silence for a moment. "Thank you," I finally said. "Now go home, Marcus." "It's late." "Yes, ma'am," after he left. I sat alone in my office for a long time, thinking about everything that had happened. 3 years ago, I was destroyed. Broken, lost. Now, I was sitting in my own office, running my own company, making my own choices. The man who tried to ruin me was now working for me, paying me back, watching me succeed every single day. And you know what? It felt good, not because I was hurting him, but because I had won, not by getting revenge, but by becoming someone better. That's the thing about betrayal. It can either destroy you or remake you, and I chose to be remade. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Maddie. "Hey sis, proud of you. Dinner this weekend?" I smiled. We'd finally made peace. I'd paid her back every penny with interest, and slowly. We'd rebuilt our relationship. I texted back. I'd love that. My life was full now. Full of success, full of love, full of people who genuinely cared about me. Maybe karma doesn't always look the way we expect it to. Maybe revenge isn't always about making someone suffer. Maybe the best revenge is building a life so good that the person who wronged you can see exactly what they lost, and then giving them just enough rope to either hang themselves or climb back up. Only time will tell which one Marcus chooses, but either way, I've already won. I took the worst thing that ever happened to me and turned it into the best thing. I lost $50,000 and found something worth infinitely more, myself. My strength, my power, my future, and nobody not Marcus. Not anyone can ever take that away from me again. I looked out my office window at the city lights below. My city, my company, my life. 3 years ago. My city. About, mm, 3 years ago. I was broken today. I was unstoppable. And that right there was the sweetest revenge of all. Sometimes the best revenge isn't hurting the person who hurt you. Sometimes it's showing them exactly what they lost when they walked away. And then living so well that they can't help but watch. Because success isn't about them anymore. It's about you becoming the person you were always meant to be.